guys, guess what Sammy's making? Guess what's going down? What is it, Matt? What is it? Cabbage? No, definitely not cabbage. Anything that I taken it too far? What's up, guys? How is the day? Happy Friday. Good to see everyone in here, nice and early. I guess we have a later start though, so maybe some of you have been waiting around. Nice, Lemon. Just starting off strong. Matt, you keep getting timed out in all these rooms. I'm the only one besides Sammy who gets you. Oh my gosh, man. I think you're safe here. We all get you. Believe me, if we didn't get you, you would have been kicked out long ago. So don't even feel bad, dude. And you know what? Thanks for that dono yesterday. It's very generous of you. I will be taking the first photo of the Sammy's meat calendar today when he serves up the brisket. It's happening. You only have 30 minutes. Nice. Death, what's up, man? Too many tickets for you, Lemon. You finally bought your first real chef knife. And what is the brand? Give us some details, Brian. Yeah, now I need to sell them. It could be a thing. It could be a thing, Matt. Okay, so day so far has been great. As you know, Sammy did not work today. So we were up at 3 a.m. That's when the alarm went off to prep the brisket and the smoker. So not sure if you guys watched the VOD for it yet, but it is uploaded. And I also did a little mobile outdoor stream of the smoker too. So that was really fun this morning. And then I went back to bed at 5, slept until 9. We had a solid 9 hours of sleep still today. Felt super refreshed. So then we ended up going for an hour-and-a-half bike ride up the mountain today. Left at 11, got home at 12:30, and then put the beaners in. And now we're here. Foreman Carl Mertens, 23 centimeters. I need to copy and paste that into Google. See what that is. Foreman Carl. I'm way too active for you. You know what? I haven't been on my bike personally in probably a good 2 weeks. Since I've been using Sammy's bike to get to work, typically. So that felt really good, and I think I'm getting stronger because we got up the hill faster than last time. Ooh, Brian, that knife looks awesome. Really, really nice, dude. You know what? It was perfect temperature today, biking out. I don't know what the temp is. I'm going to guess probably around 18 to 20. Nice and manageable, that's for sure. Yeah, there we go. 20 degrees, feels like 23. But the way that we bike up the mountain, you get bouts of shade and sun, so you don't get overheated, which is good. Probably because after 10 years of army, yeah, you're done being healthy. Makes sense, man. You still got that work ethic, though, from the military. Mies. Yeah, go back to 3 a.m. What is going on? That was fun this morning, Mies. Sneaky house coat stream. What's up, Rook? How's it going, man? Welcome in. Okay. So, brisket has been on the smoker since 5. We, just took it off, Sammy, about 20 minutes ago?
Yep.
Just took it off the smoker 20 minutes ago. It's feeling nice and gelatinized. All of the fats have been broken down. It's super nice and tender. Definitely smoked out the neighborhood early this morning. That was fun. And then obviously the beans are in the oven as well. Since those will take, I'm gonna guess, around 4 to 5 hours. And I did a mix of navy beans, pinto beans, and black-eyed peas. So we just have it wrapped in butcher paper, Rook. It's just sitting out right now on a sheet pan. And then closer to service time is we will lower the temp of the oven and then slowly bring it back up. So you don't want to blast it with heat because all the proteins are just going to seize up right away. So we didn't spend all that time waking up early and doing it low and slow to try and heat it up quickly. So you still want to be careful at that time. And I'm going to say it'll probably take around 20 minutes to half an hour to heat it back up. What do you think, Sammy? 250? 275 Fahrenheit to heat it up. 250 Fahrenheit. Wrap it in paper and a towel and put it in a cooler if it's done. That's a good idea too. I don't know, we've always just left it out. Do you think the cooler really makes a difference? Okay, so 2 parts of the meal are already done. All we have left now is to make up some coleslaw and make up some cornbread. 2 really simple things. Cornbread will take around 35 to 40 minutes to bake. Doing it in the oven in the cast iron, and then it will rest out of the oven. Same with the beans as the brisket is heating up. And those things will just stay warm on the stovetop. And I think that's the best way to go about that. And then we'll make up the coleslaw earlier rather than later, so that it has time to kind of marinate and soak up all those flavors. Zach, thank you for the biddies. $2.69. Thank you. Welcome in. How's the day? Wrap it in paper and keep it in the oven on the lowest setting. Yeah, but I guess we could do that upstairs, since we do have another oven now in the house. Yeah, we're going old school. Won't wrapping it soften the crunchy bits? Yes, so that's why we have the butcher paper, which is like semi-permeable. I think that's one of the most important things. Well, we have 2 kitchens in the house, right, Matt? Like, we have our own suite, and then my parents have theirs upstairs. And you know what? Cheers, guys. This is what was happening, what you guys could hear during the starting up screen. Sammy made the last of the margarita mix. You always want to get it mostly cooked on the smoker. Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely cooked and done. You never knew that, Matt? All right. Well, now you know. Okay, so like I said, the cornbread will only take around 40 minutes to bake, so we will do that later in the stream. But we can mix it up probably half an hour before we plan to make it anyways. And that way the cornmeal can kind of soak up all of the liquid. Did you miss the recipe for the rub? The rub on the brisket, Dijon mustard rubbed all over it, and then coarse sea salt, kosher, and cracked black pepper. That's it, Rook. Simple, and we used oak to smoke with. You let the smoke be the star of that dish for sure. Okay, so we will go through a little bit of fun facts and history before we even start cooking. And here is our little prep list for our day, because obviously we only have 2 hours to do this compared to the typical 4 that we kind of take. So yeah, a little bit of a shorter stream today, but that is okay. It's nice to be able to spend some time off stream as well. Okay, let's get into it. So first things first, what we're gonna do is we'll check the beans, give them another stir, see if they need any extra liquid, and also taste them to see how well they are cooked already. You always do a bit of brown sugar, cayenne, paprika, and garlic powder. Yeah, I don't think we've ever done that on a brisket, but we have done something similar for the pork shoulders, for sure. But brisket, we always just keep very simple. Okay, so we'll check our beans first. That's an exciting one. And then after that, we'll prep the slaw to marinate. So we have to shave some cabbage, shred some carrot, slice up some green onion, and make the dressing. We will be making a semi-creamy kind of slaw, so a little bit of mayo, but not completely doused in mayo either. And we will be using apple cider vinegar to cut that down. After that, we'll mix up the cornbread, check our beans again, and we should be able to season them at this point. They shouldn't reduce too much more before we eat. After that, we'll do another plate up of the tres leche, see how it has changed sitting overnight and being allowed to soak up the rest of the tres leche mix. And then we'll taste it again and then make our barbecue spread. So obviously the cornbread will be cooked by that point, and then we'll taste, and I think that's it, guys. If we have time today and everything goes well, we will be doing a little bit of trivia that is for cooking and basic kitchen skills. And I think we will be giving away some bones to enter the giveaway. So 11 questions is what I have. And I'm going to say the first 5 people to answer the questions right will get rewarded 1,000 bones to use towards the giveaway. You don't have to spend them right away. You can wait until the end of the month as well, but I think that would be a really fun way to get the community together. Have some fun on this Friday. Hey Optrix, how are you? And Vune, welcome in, guys. Okay, so we're doing kind of a Texas barbecue style feast. And yes, there are a couple different styles of barbecue. The 2 main ones are Kansas style and Texas style. So we typically do Texas style, and that is kind of just based off of how the meats are smoked and prepared. So Texas barbecue, a traditional style of prepping meat unique to the cuisine of Texas. It's one of the many different varieties of barbecue found around the world. Vune follows you around. Watch out, Matt. Maybe I contracted him to watch you because you're so wild. You never know. But actually, no, that didn't happen. Straight up coincidence. You think half the channels are the same? Yeah, we get a lot of the same viewers, and I'm okay with that. Hickory smoked, so good. Yeah, we used oak today, though. Hey, Miss Molly. How's it going? Welcome in. Okay, Texas barbecue traditions can be divided into 4 general styles. East Texas, Central Texas, South Texas, and West Texas. I didn't know that. I thought there was just like one traditional Texas barbecue style. So this is interesting already. I am well, Miss Molly. Thanks for asking. Wasn't it a black op? Yeah. Will this stuff be in the trivia? No, Lemon. It will not. Okay, so additionally, in deep South Texas and along the Rio Grande Valley, a Mexican style of meat preparation known as barbacoa can also be found. Yum. In Spanish, the word barbacoa means barbecue, though in English, it is often used specifically to refer to Mexican varieties of preparation. Puts down your pencil. Yeah, you can relax. I'll let you know when things are gonna get a little crazy. Zach, you eat anything. There are so many varieties of barbecue and they battle every year. Yeah, Sam and I would still like to go to one of those kind of festivals, I guess. Barbacoa is really good, Thunder. I don't think I've had a proper barbacoa yet. So that is definitely something I need to get into. So generally speaking, the different Texas barbecue styles are distinguished as follows. East Texas style. The meat is slowly cooked to the point that it's falling off the bone. It's typically cooked over hickory wood and marinated in a sweet tomato-based sauce. Interesting. What is happening, Optrix? What did I miss? Oh, you need to figure out how to make a mushroom gravy. Just saw that. You have tons of dried porcini. So obviously you should bring those back to life with some hot water. You can definitely use the bouillon cubes. That should be okay still. And the mushroom comes from the flavor, or the flavor comes from the mushrooms anyway. Exactly. Hello, Chance Recovery. What's going on? Okay, Central Texas. And Hassan, how's it going? Yeah, a resurrection spell, exactly, Vian. Okay, Central Texas style. The meat is rubbed with only salt and black pepper. So I think this is what we do. Or in some restaurants with spices and cooked over indirect heat from pecan or oak wood or mesquite or even a combination. Sauce is typically considered unneeded, but may be served on the side. So that's what we are doing today. Central Texas, very simple, salt and pepper, no sauce is needed because it's just that tender and juicy. West Texas, the meat is cooked over direct heat from mesquite wood. So South Texas style features thick, molasses-like sauces that keep the meat very moist. Very interesting. And then barbacoa is somewhat different from all of those. Though beef may be used, goat or sheep are a more common meat. And traditionally, the way barbacoa is prepared is they dig a big hole in the ground, cover the meat with typically banana leaves or some sort of large leaf that will hold up to cooking, and then cover the meat back up with the dirt, and typically this takes around 24 hours to cook underground, and then they dig it back up and uncover everything and serve it like that. So Sam and I actually have had this now that I'm going through how it's prepared. We had lamb. I believe it was lamb that they cooked at the barbecue. Yeah. We had lamb barbacoa, which they then pulled off the bone and served taco style. Lots of different salsas and different veggies. Really freaking delicious. Welcome in, Flaming Delta. Thank you for the follow. The cover for the mushrooms? Oh, the bouillon. Chicken bouillon. Best before 2008? Dude, I think 10 years might be a little long. How are we doing, Kate? 420? A little bit more, and then we'll get prepping. Sounds like a Cuban dish, Latin barbecue. Your dad would cover it in stones and wood. Oh my gosh, Lemon. You had some good foods growing up. That's amazing. Yeah, it's aged bouillon. So European meat smoking traditions were brought by German and Czech settlers in central Texas during the mid-19th century. The original tradition was that butchers would smoke leftover meat that had not been sold so that it could be stored and saved. As the smoked leftovers became popular among the migrants in the area, many of these former meat markets evolved to specialize in smoked meats. Many butcher shops also evolved into well-known barbecue establishments. Very cool. Thanks for the follow, Chance. Welcome in. Hope you enjoy your stay. So in 1964, President Lyndon Johnson hosted a state dinner featuring barbecue for the Mexican president-elect in Johnson City, Texas. It's generally considered the first barbecue state dinner in the history of the U.S. So 1964, first barbecue dinner. That's not that long ago, guys. So this is more of a newer thing. Sorry, wolves. I already have one of those. Yeah, maybe if they're dried Optrix, it'll probably be fine. It just maybe will have less of a flavor than you're looking for. Who knows? Try it out and see. But since it's dried, it's kind of preserved, right? I don't see how that would really go bad. Unless it smells like rancid and sour. The shrooms are fresher than the bouillon. Okay, so that's all we're going to get into for Texas barbecue. Let's get into cornbread real quick. We'll do this until 4:30, so we got 7 minutes left. And then we'll make up the slaw, mix up the cornbread, and prep the rest of the stuff. So Native Americans have been using ground corn or maize for food for thousands of years, even before the European explorers arrived in the New World. European settlers, especially those who resided in the English southern colonies, learned the original recipes and processes for corn dishes from the Cherokee, Chickasaw, Choctaw, and Creek. And soon they devised recipes for using cornmeal in breads similar to those made of grains available in Europe. Cornbread has been called a cornerstone of the cuisine of the southern United States. Hey, Reno. Not if Matt has his way with Sammy. Oh my god. Matt's dying. Yeah, don't tell anyone. Cornmeal is produced by grinding dry raw corn grains. A coarser meal made from corn is called grits. Grits are produced by soaking raw corn grains in hot water containing calcium hydroxide, which is an alkaline salt. This loosens the grain hull and increases the nutritional value of the product. Very cool. So we're doing a baked cornbread today. And it says in some parts of the South, the cornbread's crumbled up into a glass of cold milk or buttermilk and then eaten with a spoon. Otherwise, it's also widely eaten with barbecue meats and chili con carne. Yum. So we are using a finer cornmeal today to make our cornbread. And I'm using Ina Garten's recipe. I've cooked this one, I think 3 times already. It's really freaking delicious. And we're gonna use both white cheddar aged and old cheddar. You grew up on cornbread? I really like cornbread, Reno. Optrix, you gotta break down. Install that window AC unit. Okay, coleslaw. Coleslaw comes from the Dutch term coleslaw, meaning cabbage salad. And it's a salad consisting primarily of fine shredded raw cabbage with a salad dressing, commonly either vinaigrette or mayo. And it may be served as a side dish and is offered by some America-based fast food chains. Definitely not my go-to to choose for a side at like any fast food establishment, just because it's usually so bland unless I make it myself. And usually it's just doused in dressing and not that appetizing. Liz, you are here but not here. That is fair. I am here and right here. I am present. Yeah, Ina needs to learn how to be a little neater in the kitchen with things that nobody knows. Okay, what's going on? Matt and Rook battling again. Okay, sounds good, Rook. You gotta walk Pendleton. Cut your hair and shower. Getting fresh. Bert, I have not made too much yet. We're gonna get into the beans right away. And then we're gonna be making up our slaw and cornbread. Liz has achieved water form. Yeah, that's it. Holy Liz, racking up those points. Okay, that's it. That's as far as we're going. Let's check out our beaners, and then we will get going. Exciting. Toodles, Liz. So the beans have been in the oven since 1:15. It's 4:30 now, so I would say they're probably 75% cooked. We're gonna try them out and see how much time we think is left. It's pretty full crop. And I totally just seared my arm on the oven. You guys ever touch the top of your arm to the oven rack when you're taking something out? That just happened. And it's okay. We'll be okay, guys. Look there's our beaners. Yum. So there's beer in here. There is some beef stock, onion, garlic, rosemary, sage, and thyme. Some maple syrup, and that is it so far. So this looks like it's cooking really well. I think we'll add a little bit of water. Oh yeah, and sorry, there's pork jowl instead of bacon. But it looks like these are almost done. They definitely need a little bit more hydration though. Yeah, baked beans. That is life. Let's give it a little testy test. So I think the pinto beans will need a little bit longer for sure. I guess we'll see when we try it. Yeah, I feel no pain. It hurt for a second, but I think we'll be okay. Just like a little smooth mark. Meh. What's in the beans? Dang, Reno, you just finished me saying what was just in them. I'll repeat it in a second. And I did post everything in Discord, in the food photo section, because I didn't really make up a recipe or follow one, but I did post the photos and the steps that you should take. They're actually pretty much good. Your stream froze. Dang. Honestly, I'm just gonna shut the oven off. All the beans are completely cooked. I'll just pour a little bit more water in there. Give it a little rehydration because they got a little bit dried out, I would say. It's not as saucy as I would like it, but the flavor is there. And I think we could probably season it now with some salt and pepper. That's the only thing I haven't put in. Mike Sai, how are you? Okay, Reno. So the way that I started the beans, I cut up some pork jowl that has been smoked. You can use bacon though. Cut it into like pretty big chunks. Browned that up in the crock pot. Diced up an onion pretty small. Threw that in there. Cooked it for probably 10 minutes until it was starting to turn brown. Sliced up 2 garlic cloves. Put that in with the onions. Chopped up some thyme, rosemary, and sage. Mixed that in. Added the can of beer to deglaze the pot. Gave that a little stir. A liter of beef broth. And a cup and a half of maple syrup. And that is it. Brought that to a simmer. Threw it in a 350 Fahrenheit oven. And this is now just over 3 hours later. So it didn't take long. Just you have to remember to soak all your beans overnight in water. It's freaking good. So let me get some water. Pour that in there. Make it saucy again. And then we will season these up. And I'll just leave them on the stovetop. And probably throw them back in the oven later when we're heating up the brisket. And this is something that will not go bad if it sits out for a couple of hours before you plan to eat it. If anything, it will just get better because the beans will just keep soaking up that flavor. But if your beans are already cooked, then I wouldn't keep cooking them because then you'll just end up with like not whole beans. They'll just kind of fall apart. So you don't want to have a bean mash. You still want to be able to differentiate. I think this is good. Refried baked beans. Yeah, probably pretty sweet, hey? It's definitely sweet from the maple syrup, which is why we're gonna definitely contrast it with some salt. So what did I add? Maybe a cup and a half of some water. I think this looks pretty good. I think that consistency is great. And then as that sits on the stovetop, I think it'll rehydrate again and probably soak up some of that liquid. Why do you soak the beans overnight? Because the beans are dried. So that's the best thing to use when you're making baked beans is the dry ones. And then you just rehydrate them to cut down your cooking time. Otherwise, these would probably take double the amount of time if you did it from raw dried beans. Oh, add chipotle to make it a barbecue bean. That sounds amazing. Monocle! Hello, how are you? I'm so happy you're in here. Yeah, your meat is already off the grill. It's just resting up, and we're just seasoning up the maple bacon baked beans. So let's grab some salt and pepper. And then these guys are pretty much good to go. And we'll start chopping up our veg for the slaw. So let's have a good hit of pepper, just to help cut the sweetness as well. Some people do like to add a form of acid to the beans. I don't think I want to do that since we're making a sort of tangy coleslaw to go on the side. So as I was saying to Sammy earlier, the beans are like the sweet side dish. And then the cornbread is the creamy one. And then the coleslaw is the tangy part. So everything will kind of balance out with the smoked brisket. Let's give this a stir and another taste. Let's see where we're at. So I think I added around a tablespoon of salt. Yum. what? We can take out our herb stems. So this is the stem from the thyme. I just threw whole sprigs in there because I knew that the leaves would kind of cook off of it. And then you just have to take out your little woody stem after it's done. It is a lot of beans, but I like leftover beans. They're pretty easy to transform. Aw, thanks, Chance. Yeah, this long weekend, starting out great. Nothing better than a barbecue feast, especially on a Friday. You have any plans for the long weekend, Chance? Okay, now we got that sweet and salty contrast. I think that's perfect. I don't think I want to add any more salt than that. Just take out our herb stems. So that's just easy to serve this afterwards. Boom. Now we'll just cover this back up and put it on the stovetop. Chill out while we prepare the rest of the sides. Thanks, Monocle. I know you know what that cornbread is like because you've eaten it before. There we go, guys. Hot beans. You're making mashed potatoes. Nice, Optrix. That is awesome, dude. Treat yourself on the Friday. Okay, guys. Let's get out a big bowl. Start making the slaw. Gotta shred up some veggies. I got some jalapeno here. Actually, sorry, that's for the cornbread. We're not making the slaw spicy at all. So carrots are gonna be shredded. We need to slice up some green onion. I got red cabbage in the fridge. And then Betty is on their way back from, I think, the brewery. And they're gonna bring some green cabbage to kind of cut the red one. I always like to do a nice mix. And we are going to try and shred this as thin as possible. Make it easy to eat. We have 20 minutes to make this up, and then we gotta mix the cornbread and get it in the oven. And that way everything will be ready by 6 p.m. Crushing it, guys. I've never seen a cabbage wrapped in saran wrap before at the store. This is new to me. So I always start just by peeling off the outer leaf. It's really great to have on there because it just kind of protects the cabbage from anything that it might touch. And then we have this other side here, but it doesn't look bad. And we'll start by trimming off the bottom and then cutting it in half. Have you ever tried using the yeast on the cabbage leaf to make sourdough? No? I've never heard of that, Lemon. That is interesting, for sure. Have you done it? There we go. Take off as little as possible. And then we're only gonna use half of this. And I think I just heard people come in the door. So perfect timing to get the green cabbage. Everything's just working out. So, the way that I just cut this is I totally missed the core. So I'm not gonna use this bigger piece, I'm gonna use the smaller one. And it's always surprising when you start to shred the cabbage, just how much it actually makes when you start to kind of break it apart. So it's pretty deceiving. And then I always just used half of this kind of medium-sized head, half of each one, and then you should be able to feed like at least 8 people from it. You'll get your hair did later. Yeah, there's more important things, hey Rook. Sorry guys. You saw it on Martha Stewart. The guy soaked the leaves in water. Cool. Yeah, he called it the mama, the mother.
What did she do? Trying to give him some good food. This is from the little black market next to the soup brewing company. Meat.
Okay.
We bought meat.
We got some meat snacks. Beef jerky.
Do we have time to go to the other one? And come back?
Yeah, we're not eating till 6.
Okay, great. We're out.
Have fun. Brewery tour today, I guess, guys. Going hopping. That is so cool, Lemon. I want to try that. You're just staying home painting a bit. Nice. Always good to get stuff done around the house. Oh, thanks, Chance. Don't even be sorry about the delay. Here for you guys. So let's do the same with this one. Posh is just here. Actually, Posh is here for both the cabbage and the beef jerky, I think. She loves both. I'm sure she likes the beef more. But hey, I'm sure if I throw her a piece of the core from the cabbage, she's not gonna say no. And so with this, we just have a little bit of the core here at the bottom. So I like to just make a triangular slice down there. Kind of just pull it out if you can. If it's a little bit tough, just go through again. And you should be able to just kind of rip it out. And then you have no more tough pieces in the middle there. The dog is just like you. Yeah, she's hungry. Always, Spaghetti. Always. You want to try it, but you haven't. Thank you for letting me know about that, Lemon. That's freaking so cool. Okay, so now, you notice I cut those pieces in half again, just so we have a smaller piece to fit into your mouth when you go to eat it later. You and your cabbages, no. And then I always start at one end. Use your index finger to guide your knife. And that way you'll be able to keep it really nice and thin. You want to go as thin as possible here, guys. So go slow to start. I can pick up the speed a little bit. You can also use a mandolin for this. I did not get that reference, Ian. I'm sorry. And when it gets near the end and it kind of wants to tip over, just let it tip over and then slice it the other way. Totally okay. And then I'm gonna leave that piece and that piece for Posh. She's being a good doggo. Avatar. The Last Airbender. Nice. Okay, Poshy. Come here. Get down. 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 Oh, you missed it. It landed on her head. That was the best. Doggo snacks for the win. Okay, let's transfer this into our bowl, and then we'll keep going. Go, go, go. It's always good to prep your slaw about half an hour at least before you plan to eat it. That way it can kind of sit and soak up all of the juices from the dressing. Knife slip though. It's the risk you gotta take if you're gonna slice it that thin. Do you guys typically cut up your own cabbage for slaw? Or is that something that you always buy from a bag? No judgment here. It's just cool to know what you guys usually do. On to the purple one. You grate it. Oh, that's interesting, Cookie. That is an interesting one. Packaged for the win, no effects. Fair enough. I mean, it's so quick, right? I just like to practice my chopping skills. Cabbage is definitely a fun one to try and nail down. You rarely eat cabbage. You're married to someone with IBS. She would explode. Oh my gosh. That makes sense then, Lemon. Yeah, this dinner is probably not the best for your belly, but it just tastes so damn good. Sometimes you gotta suck it up. You prefer the longer slaw to smaller slaw. So like what I'm making here, like the nice long and thin pieces. Rook, yeah. How about no slaw? Just give him the meat and that's it. The meat and the cheese. So this one feels a lot firmer than the green one. You guys can kind of hear how my knife keeps slipping. That's because it's a lot firmer to cut through. I'm just gonna go a little bit slower, and if you need to, turn it this way so it's a little bit easier to slice. When you worked in a restaurant, you would chop it all up, but now you're down with the easy way. Yeah, you've done your time, no effects. You've chopped your cabbage. Now you can take the easy route. Sometimes I feel like slaw is even better the day after you mix it up. That way it's soaked up all of the flavors fully. Doggo loves cabbage. Okay, there we go. It's a lot of slaw. But at least my family will have leftovers on the weekend if it's needed. It seems more dense. Yeah, exactly. The leaves are packed tighter, I think. So here's this. Elvin, nice. No high or nothing, just straight to gambling, hey? Rough Friday or what? Catch you in the casino? Just give this a little toss. Just like chili, exactly, no effects. Okay, so definitely a pretty full bowl here, but you'll see we're gonna sprinkle on some salt, some pepper, and a little bit of vinegar in here. Toss it up, and then that's gonna actually soften up the cabbage as well. I really like to do that. I just find it has a better mouthfeel when you go to eat it later. So let's do that. Sorry guys, I'm just opening this cupboard. Grabbing our apple cider vin. That's what's going on here. So just a little drizzle. If you guys want, I can measure this out. I'm gonna say probably 1/8 of a cup. Actually, maybe a quarter even. Quarter cup of vin, just because I'm using quite a bit of cabbage here. Give that a little drizz. And we'll sprinkle our salt over. And let that marinate a bit while we finish grating up the carrot, chop the onions, and make the dressing. Toss a pinch of sugar in there as well. Okay, let's do it, no effects. Professional assassin of characters. So let's do a tablespoon of salt. I find that the cabbage just gets better flavor when it's kind of pre-seasoned without the dressing. Maple syrup, that could work as well. So just something a little sweet then, what you guys are saying. Let's just do a pinch of sugar. I mean, we could also add the sugar into the dressing too, right? Make it sweet and sour. Oh, there's definitely enough maple in the beans, so I don't want to overpower that. You can't buy anymore. What do you mean, lemon? Oh. You're disagreeing, Reno. You should be able to. Do you have 1,000 points, though, is the thing. Let me see. You have 2171. Weird. I don't know why it's not letting you. You should be able to, though. Maybe do the giveaway command and do it through there. A Canadian saying maple syrup could work. Yeah. And I just rolled out of your head. Hilarious. Okay, let's toss this up. You bought like 19. Yeah, I think that's what you bought yesterday. And then the vinegar is also going to start to draw the color out of the purple cabbage, which is one of my favorite things about using that in slaw, is it transforms it to almost this like hot pink, iridescent, purplish color once you add the dressing and leave it sit for a little bit. So we'll just leave that out, let it marinate, and finish prepping the rest of this. Easy come, easy go. Alvin's not concerned. Don't worry, you still got just under a month to go anyways. You can build up a lot of points in a short amount of time. Wow. Yeah, end scene. Lemon. So good. Okay, let's peel these carrots. They're definitely not nice enough to just scrub down. And then we'll shred these with a box grater. Whoop. Whoopa. I think we will make the dressing though after the cornbread's in the oven. That'll give us something to do to kill the time. I just don't want to push that cornbread too late since it takes like 40 minutes to cook. And I'm gonna get rid of this beef jerky because I definitely don't need that at the moment. No snacks yet, guys. I'm saving room for brisket. I'm gonna get my beef later. But first, we'll give Doggo a couple pieces of carrot. Okay, get down. Oh, you almost got it. Hey, down. Good girl. Should you just buy a Y peeler? You have the vertical one. You can't justify tossing it out. So Betty has a vertical one as well. I don't know. I've always liked that peeler, the Y one. That's what I've always used. So I think that's just personal preference. Okay, grate in the carrot. I would recommend putting like a wax paper or parchment under this, just because a lot of the juice typically comes out of the carrot when you grate it. So if you have a wood cutting board, that will stain really easily. You've made Ina's cornbread, yes. Yeah, honestly, one of my go-to Ina recipes. So delicious. Why peeler has a more natural wrist motion, exactly. So we're gonna do the thickest setting on our grater here. So we got a nice crunch of carrot in our slaw. And this also helps to add some color. Ouch, that was a close one. Be careful, guys. Oh, maybe it wasn't close. It was very close. So close, in fact, that she did grate her hand. Yeah, that's exactly what I just did. Look. Ouch. Send the medic, guys. Send help. I always forget how sharp this one is because I haven't used it that much. It's not like the 20-year-old ones that I'm used to using. Yeah, clean up. Clean up in the kitchen. Over there, girl. We will survive. We will live another day. And we will also keep cooking. Don't worry, guys. Yeah, you're channeling Canada, hey? What is going on? Sorry about that influence. Oh my gosh, Lemon. What's the secret behind my coleslaw? I would say probably seasoning the cabbage with the salt and vinegar before you add in and mix in the dressing and the rest of your ingredients. Even if it's just like a 15-minute little window before you mix everything, I think that makes all of the difference. So then you're not just relying on the dressing to give it flavor. You're actually fully seasoning the cabbage first, which can be quite bland, right? Yeah, I just put a little bit of my own self into the slaw. That is the secret. Now, I didn't fully grate it off. It's just a little flat. It's hanging on. I think. Yeah. It's definitely gonna sting if I put my hands into the coleslaw now. That vinegar, just cauterize it. Why not, guys? Lemon, did it work when you entered the contest through the giveaway command, or is it still not letting you? So we can put our carrots on top, that's fine. And now, I think we're gonna move on to the cornbread. We'll slice up the green onion before we make the dressing for the slaw. But since this doesn't have to cook, we can just set it aside and move on. So what we need to do, everything gets combined in the pan that you're gonna use to make the cornbread. So this is why I love this recipe. It's not actually how Ina makes it. But I did start making the beans in here. So what I did, I started sauteing the jowl and the onion. And then I realized, oh shit, I need to use this pan for the cornbread. So that's when I transferred it over to the other crock. And so I just have a little bit of like residue from the jowl and the onion, and I'm scared that it might make the cornbread stick to the bottom. So I'm just gonna kind of scrape that up first with the cast iron scraper, and then we'll put in our dry ingredients and mix in our wet, and then we are pretty much good to go. I guess I should quickly rinse out the grater because we need to use it to grate the cheese to go in here. So that will just dry off while we prep the other stuff first for the cornbread. Go, go, go. It says you have 0 bones. Weird. Yeah, we got a trend here. So we don't necessarily need to scrape this stuff out. We're just loosening it up. So there's less of a chance for the other ingredients to stick onto it. So first things first, combine flour, cornmeal, sugar, baking powder, and salt in your pan. So 3 cups of flour, all-purpose is fine. Here is the cornmeal we're using, a nice fine cornmeal. This is one of the only brands you can really find here. It's called Purity. Soul Food Poggers, yes, Albus. How big is this pan? I think it is 12 inches, if I'm correct. You were able to buy through the link giveaway. Okay, that is good, as long as you can still do it. Thanks, Rook. Yeah, this is one of my faves. I think I got it like 40% off online. We have not paid full price for any of our cast irons. I think that's important to note. Because you guys need to just watch for the sales. Everything at some point is going to go on sale. So if you can wait it out, why not? Don't spend that extra money. You didn't season yours well enough last time. Currently on number 3 in the oven. Nice, dude. That's always fun. So 1 cup of cornmeal. I'm just going to use up this whole bag. Perfect. Don't even have to crack into the other one. Oh, God. Next up, our sugar. 1/4 cup. Which I already used that for something wet, so I'll just measure 1/4 cup in our big measuring cup. No problem, Elvin. This is my favorite way to make cornbread, is covered in a cast iron. Just comes out really moist and fluffy. And then our baking powder, 2 tablespoons. So that's what gives your cornbread the rise that you're looking for. Next up, 2 teaspoons of salt. And then I think we're going to turn our oven on to preheat. And easily enough, This bake's at 350 Fahrenheit, so it's not a super high temp. First things first though, we're just gonna give this dry stuff a little whisk to incorporate it. And then we're gonna mix this kind of like a pancake batter, where we're gonna leave a little bit of the lumps in there. And that actually helps make it fluffier. And don't worry guys, there's more than enough butter in this recipe and cheese for it not to stick. So I just made a little well in the center there. Let's just put this on the stove top. And then we're just gonna get a little bowl out to fit our wet goods. So 2 cups of milk, 3 extra large eggs beaten up, half a pound of butter melted. So we'll get that going. And then we'll grate our cheddar and dice up our onions for both the cornbread and the slaw. And then we're going in No, I'm tearing the measure apart. So half a pound equals 1 cup. If you guys are like, how much is half a pound? Bye. That's what we did, Lemon. We had to. Not today, man. Not today. You use some big cups for coffee. Steampunk, how are you? What? Steampunk with the resub 1 month, or sorry, 3 months already. Thank you, thank you. There we go. Do a 30 seconds on that guy. To change the subject, thanks Steampunk. And thank you for all of your support. Hope you know you are appreciated. Do you trust the little measuring marks on the wrapper? I do. I use them quite often. Okay, so I have our milk already measured out. 2 cups worth. And we'll crack our eggies. Guys, don't run to your oven. It's just me. Probably should have whisked the eggs together first, but hey. I'm doing it Kate's way. That is that. How's the butter? Not melted. So let's do another 30. And while we're waiting, we'll whisk these guys up. So break the yolks. Hopefully we won't make too much of a mess. Okay guys, question of the day while we're chilling still. What are your favorite barbecue side dishes to either make or eat? What is like one of your favorite things to eat when you go to a barbecue or like have a potluck? I think my favorite one is still cornbread. I think like all three of these that I'm making today are my favorite. It's so hard to pick. More barbecue, yeah, just more meat. Screw the side dishes. Elvin's just here for the meat. Fire roasted corn on the cob. Nice, Lemon. Okay, our butter is going in. Hush puppies. Nice cookie. Obviously, you need a deep fryer for that. Mac and cheese. That's a good one, too. Even though it's so rich, so freaking good. Jalapeno cheese grits is a staple. Nice, Annie. Cornbread is yours too, Elvin. I'm very picky about cornbread though. Usually it's too dry, but this recipe is so nice and moist. Obviously with the cheese, I think. That's the important one. Steampunk, yeah, you can't forget about the beer. That's a good one too. Okay, so now we'll go on to grating our cheese, and then we'll mix everything up. So once again, just rip a little piece of parchment. Feel like the cheese wants to stick to the board all the time. So for our cheese, we need 8 ounces of cheddar, grated and divided. So we're gonna mix in 2 cups of the grated cheese into the cornbread batter, and then we're gonna put the rest on top. So definitely measure this out. This is by weight, right? So this is gonna be the most accurate way to do this. I don't know what I did here. I put a timer on. Not again. I don't want the timer. Just make the bad man stop. There we go. Unit. Ounces. Grab your cheese. Sup, con carne? How's it going today? Southern grits are the best. I agree. Okay, so that's 6.3. We'll use mostly the old cheddar. And then we'll substitute the other 2 ounces with our aged white cheddar. Why does the scale need the timer? I hate that feature on it. I really do. So it always just turns on when I don't need it on. Let's see if I can measure this right. 7.8. We'll go to 8.2. Done and done. Why not? Yeah, the scale has a timer. Super annoying. I mean, it could be useful. I would rather an external timer though. It is super nice, it's true. So I got this when I was doing like my meal prep and all that fun stuff. Now we can get to grating. Hey Dante, yeah, you came in at the perfect time. And it's okay if it's a little bit chunky too. It's so precise that not only does it need to weigh the same, but it has to be weighed for the same amount of time. Oh my gosh. It's so complicated. You had a tiny baby scale for a while. Your roommate broke it. How rude. And they didn't replace it? Chunky cheese for the win. I find that white cheddar always kind of crumbles like this. Just because when you age it, it loses moisture, right? So it doesn't stay together as well. Yeah, babies have scales. This is new. I'm trying to be careful so I don't grate any more of my digits. And now our orange cheddar should be a lot easier to grate up. Not gonna fall apart at all. And I know this is a lot of cheese, but if you're gonna make cornbread, make it right. This is definitely why it stays so moist. Yeah, grated fingers. Well, we already grated my thumb a little bit earlier, Dante. I think 1 injury is good enough for the day. But you never know what might happen. Cooking gets pretty crazy sometimes. Injuries happen. Nice, Optrix. The food coma. In dog, it's nasty. It's a yummy injury, yeah, it's worth it. Just gonna let some of that out. Sometimes it gets too packed down in there. It actually gets stuck in your grater. So I will let you look at Cheese Mountain. You would have rage quit. Oh no, Indog. See, that's the thing. Is when you get paid to do this, you can't just rage quit. It has to be something a lot worse than that for me to be able to say I cannot carry on from this. Yeah, you would climb Cheese Mountain. If only there was such a thing. Tap all the cheeseums out of there. There we go. And you know what? I'm not even gonna wash my hand. We're gonna go in with the wet stuff first, but you also need to chop up a jalapeno real quick. Now, what does it say? 3 tablespoons of chopped jalapeno. I'm gonna say this guy is probably perfect. And I'm gonna leave the seeds and everything in there, I think. Maybe I'll take a little bit out of there. Just so it's not super spicy, because that looks like it would be. But I think the spice is definitely needed. That was a close one, guys. I almost cut my hand off. The spice is needed to cut the fat from the brisket. And also the fat in the cornbread that this is going with. Yeah, Buff. Where is he? I wondered where he went. Buff has not been on in quite a while. Hopefully, he is okay. Hopefully not shanked again. Yeah, we can't joke about that one, though. The world's a crazy place nowadays. So I like to cut the jalapeno as small as possible. Kind of mince it up in there. And that way it's dispersed better. And you're not just going to get huge spicy chunks that kind of ruin your bite. So let's just, spicy air, group this all together. Sorry if I'm coughing. The spice went up my throat. Optrix, you were sheltering underneath a hut with a cheese roof. There was a sun that melted it. No! But how did you keep replacing the cheese? Endless ridiculous amounts of cheese. You escaped on a super-sized rigatoni floating on a river of melted cheese. That's intense, man. It's like next level stuff. Perfect lemon. That is awesome. That way I won't forget about it either. Because we usually talk about so much stuff in here. So let's just put the jalapeno in with the cheese here. We'll mix them in at the same time. And I'm gonna wash my hands up real quick, as well as the knives, because they're spicy now. And then we'll mix everything up, and the cornbread's going in the oven. We'll set a 35-minute timer. Yeah, dreams aren't always logical, it's true. It's a custom when cutting those to chew on at least 5 seeds. What? Where is that a custom? Okay, let's just whisk up our wet stuff again since the butter's kind of floating on top. Pour it into the dry stuff. Oh, the brisket is gonna be unreal. I'm so excited. It's a custom everywhere. Didn't you know? And this actually might get super thick really fast. So I think I'm gonna switch to a spoon right now before we get in trouble with our whisk and get it all lodged in there. Good call. There we go. Just gonna use this little spatula. So we're not gonna completely mix this either before we add the cheese. Otherwise it will end up being over mixed, which is not what we want to do. I don't think I'm gonna put the green onions in this. Not my favorite thing. I'm gonna leave them for the coleslaw. Aronia! It's been a while. You love the cornbread, and yeah, not the sweet cake type stuff. Staub better than Le Creuset? I would say they're the same. But with that being said, Le Creuset is usually double the price of Staub. So I think Le Creuset is overrated. I would say they're the exact same quality. Oh, freshly ground corn. Yes. Okay, so nicely mix this in. I don't think it's necessary to put the cheese on top. I really don't. You will get cheese on the top layer regardless after we mix this. Just want to make sure all the flour is well mixed in. Go around the sides, through the bottom as well. Might find some little pockets. And now I'm gonna work on just kind of smoothing this out. Making one nice even layer of the batter. There we go, guys. Donezo. I am good with that. So it's still like a little bit chunky, right? Now all we're gonna do is put our lid on, and that goes in the oven. 35 minutes. Let's go. Creuset. Yeah, creuset is pronounced creuset. Le creuset. Boom. Timer on so we don't forget about it. 35 minutes. Let's go. Okay, back to our slaw. Let's slice up some green onions. One of the best add-ins. Okay, what did I miss here? Aronia, price-wise. You've seen the Lodge ones. Yeah, Lodges are good as well. I have one that is like a grill pan. Bird, you have a Lodge that got passed down. It's stained super easy by the first owner. No. Let's use these 3 because I feel like I'm gonna have to take off some of the pieces. Rush, how are you? You used to leave the Lodge sitting in your sink with water. R.I.P. Cast iron. R.I.P. But you know what? That's okay because you didn't know any better. Happen to have some honey around. It's called honey in the rough. What? That sounds delicious. Yeah, where's the meat at? Where's the brisket? It is right here. It's still wrapped up. It's just been chilling, resting in the butcher paper. See all those awesome meat juices. And we'll be revealing it probably about 40 minutes. Comb in it? Oh, the honeycomb in it. I get it. I was like, what did I miss? At some point, Mom just gave up, especially when she would find peanut butter knives strewn all over the kitchen. Yeah. I remember getting yelled at for those too. Enamel. Yeah, if you don't take care of enamel, I feel like those are a little bit more difficult to deal with because as soon as you scratch it, it's kind of done with. So definitely never use anything metal in your enamel pans. If you chip it or anything, pretty much it. All right, Vune, your internet's been crapping out. Yeah, don't stick around then if it's just gonna frustrate you. We will be okay. At least I think so. And thanks for everything, man. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Okay, so we're just gonna thinly slice our onions. Nice little rounds. Oh, crystallized honey is so good, hey Aronia? Mine is at that point too. And I am okay with it. I actually really enjoy the texture when it does that. Bye, Vune. This is a strong onion. It burns. Burns the eyes. Okay, now into the slaw. I'd rather use green onion than red onion. I just find that red onion is too strong. And then that's all you really taste in your slaw. So that is why I'm using it like that. Okay, let me get just a little cleanup over here. We're making a mess. And now, onto our dressing. Le Creuset and Staub are pretty much the same price. Interesting. Because the Le Creuset have always been more here. And you know what? I'm just going to go take a quick bathroom break, and then we'll come back and make the dressing. I think that sounds all right. Brisket. Cornbread's just in the oven. Okay, I am here. Like half an hour. But just went in the oven a couple minutes ago. I don't know if you want to heat up the brisket at that temp, or is it too high? Okay, brisket will go in when the cornbread's done, guys. It shouldn't take that long. Yeah. Okay. So, our dressing, I'm gonna get out a liter container. And I'm gonna start with the apple cider vinegar as the base. And maybe we'll use a little bit of sugar as well. Some celery salt or celery seed is really important. This is like one of my favorite slaw add-ins. And I always like to use apple cider vinegar. So let us do maybe a cup of vinegar. Okay, maybe 3/4 of a cup. And then I'm gonna go quickly grab the mayo after this. How much celery salt? I'm gonna say 2 teaspoons. And because there's actually salt in this, we're gonna watch how much we have to salt the dressing after. So make sure you taste it before you add any more salt. No trivia yet. I think it's more important to finish up prep first. And then we can do trivia while the brisket's heating up. How does that sound? I think that's a better plan. Going to grab the mayo, guys. Actually, I might have some here. Okay, I do have some mayo. Mayo. You know what my other favorite add-in is for slaw dressing? Some grainy Dijon mustard. Lemon. Give me that look. Not having any of it. She can't wait. Oh, I probably overdo it too, Aronia, but I just love it so much as well. So what I'm gonna do is a cup of mayo, since Sammy asked for it a little bit creamier than what I usually do. I think that's good. Just leave that in there in case I feel like we need more. And let's just give a little squeeze of our grainy mustard. I'm gonna say a couple teaspoons. But not quite a tablespoon. You really dislike apple cider vinegar? Really? That is one of my favorites. Some black pepper. And then we just need a little bit of sugar. You can use whatever you want for sweetener. Honey, sugar, brown sugar, maple syrup. I'm just gonna use white sugar and maybe do a teaspoon as well. It's terrible of you. Yeah, it's so good for your belly.
You like a tablespoon of sugar.
Pardon, Sammy?
You like a tablespoon of sugar.
A tablespoon?
Yeah.
Well, we already put in a little bit with the cabbage while it marinated.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to do too much now. Yeah, how dare you, Birdie? You can't make good barbecue sauce with apple cider vinegar. Yeah, I love making an apple barbecue sauce with like blended apples in it. Okay, so all we're gonna do now, put our lid on, give this a shake, and see what kind of flavoring we got in here. See if we need to adjust any of the ingredients. Maybe a little bit more mayo is my guess. You know what? Turn on a light. Turn them on, guys. Oh, thanks, Aronia. My grandpa actually made that cutting board. It's older than me. Let's just say that. It's freaking amazing. I love it. Okay, let us try. She's a little tart still. So I'm gonna put in like that much more mayo. I think that's around half a cup. And a touch more sugar, I think. Another pinch like I just did. So that's gonna be the second teaspoon. Oh, you had no idea, Lemon? Yeah. So there's two other ones. My aunt has the darker wood one out in Toronto. And then my aunt and uncle that are visiting right now have the other one. So he made up a couple. He's really good at woodworking and really good cook as well. I think that's why my dad's side of the family, whenever we have get-togethers, we're always so food focused. And that's thanks to my grandpa. He's not around anymore, but it's nice to see that the tradition is carried on. Okay, another tasty taste. Hopefully this is a little bit more balanced. I think that's the perfect amount of tang. You know what I think it needs though? Maybe like a little bit of lemon zest or something. I think that's all it really needs. Some kind of citrus kick. So let's do that. Okay, sounds good, Elvin. Sorry that you couldn't watch the rest. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Yeah, I might zest you. Watch out. We're only gonna zest half the lemon. You don't wanna go overboard here. One more shake, and I think we'll be good. Thanks, Alvin. Yeah, make a lot of money, but don't work too hard. Word to the wise. The stream, so we got 19 minutes left on the cornbread. Then we'll take it out, and the brisket will probably be heated up within 20 minutes. So 40 more minutes. And we should be at the end of the stream. Yeah, exactly, Lemon. You really have to just brighten it up. I think that'll be a great compliment. Yep. Balanced it out completely. Amazing. So now, our slaw has been marinating for probably at least half an hour, hey? Yeah, true zest, no pith. There we go. Optrix, you love good woodworking. You bought a handcrafted cribbage board that has inlaid exotic hardwoods. That's amazing, dude. Be back in 30K, Rook. Sounds good. Just gonna give this one more little swirl, and then we're not gonna use all of this. So we'll have some leftover dressing for whenever we want to make more. Start with a little bit and then keep adding in more if you think you need it. But don't go heavy to start. What?
You never fed the shrimp?
I never fed Shmoo. Oh, chocolate chip cookie with zest in it. Nice. Okay, well, since I shaved a little bit of my hand off earlier, I'm just gonna put gloves on and mix this with my hands. I just find it's easier to get it all mixed up without using tongs. Chocolate chip cookie with lemon zest. I like it. You know what else is really good in coleslaw? Pickles. That also helps to make it really tangy. Whether you use gherkins or dill pickles or even the bread and butter ones that are like sweet and sour. Always good. But this is feeling great so far. I don't think, we maybe added a little bit too much dressing, but you guys can tell that it's not just doused in this mayo-based dressing. As you can see everything you're eating, it's not sloppy or goopy. I'm gonna eat this piece of carrot. And then this is just gonna go into the fridge for the rest of the stream until we serve up. Nice and colorful. Still got that crunch. Lots of flavor going on. So I will be back. Just gonna go to the other fridge. Put a couple things away right now too. Up the cabbages real quick. It's pretty gross when this slaw is drowning. That's exactly how I feel. Like, it's supposed to be somewhat healthy still. You don't just gotta drown the veggies in mayo. You used to hate slaw. I know, this one is freaking delicious. Even some grated apple, always a good addition as well. So feel free to play around. I've also made a beet one before, where I grated in the beets with the carrots. Yes, sweet slaw. Yes. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna make a little trip over to the other side, and then we'll be back. And I think it's trivia time. Have some fun for the last little bit. Oh no, losing the peppers. Okay, I'm here. One more minute. We're looking good. Just gonna put the rest of this dressing away as well. Now there's no math included. It's not that difficult. Okay. All cleaned up. Making it easier for me later on. It's always a good idea to kind of clean as you work though in your kitchen. And then it's not overwhelming when you're done cooking and you have to clean up.
Sorry.
Like getting sweet tea when expecting iced tea. Oh man. Yeah. Your neighbor makes a really good pepper dress slaw. Nice. That sounds so good too. I know. Hot, hey? Yeah, I deal with complex recipes, not numbers. Exactly. Okay, let me find my little quiz that I had ready. A basic 11 question cooking quiz. You guys ready? First, I need to see how many of there are of you guys watching. Okay, we got 31 of you. That's pretty good. You're ready to win. I think you guys, most of you in here will do good. There's a lot of cooking knowledge. Okay, only 30. Sammy says only do the first 3. Otherwise, that's too many tickets. Fair enough. So first 3 people to answer the questions correctly will get 1,000 bones to use for whatever you want. I would use it to enter the giveaway. But hey, that's just me. If you want to stack them all up and then gamble them to see if you can double them, that is also a thing. So I will just write down your guys' names and then transfer the bones to you probably after the stream. But the good thing here is you guys can still enter the giveaway even when I'm not streaming. So the link to the giveaway ticket page to purchase is right on my channel page. If you just click on the photo of the Salt West Stalts, that'll bring you there. You're ready to fail. You'll use it to surpass Liz. Yeah, is she still second? If you get a D, you're happy. Okay, guys. I mean, there might only be, what, 5 or 6 of you even chatting in here anyways. So you guys are going to do well today. Thanks for hanging out. This is kind of a thank you for sure. Okay, ready? First question. We have 10 minutes on our cornbread. So ginger can be tricky to peel with all its bumps and irregularities. Other than using a paring knife or a vegetable peeler, what could you use? So we have a spoon, a fork, or a cheese grater. The link doesn't work, really? Okay, guys, so first three. Con carne, lemon, and steampunk. Can you guys wait before I list off the answers though? Maybe that was too easy. Let me list off the 3 or 4 answers first, and then you can answer. I feel like that would be more fair. Some of you are crazy whizzes. Good job, guys, though. Seriously. Don't worry, Aronia. I'm going to be using up the bananas today to plate the dessert. So we'll do the trivia real quick, and then we'll plate the dessert as everything's finishing up. Good answers, though, guys. Okay, next. Cooking meat or fish this way creates a caramelized golden crust that adds texture and a depth of flavor. What cooking method is this? Searing or browning? That's both one answer. Baking or grilling? Oh, don't be sorry, con carne. So caramelized golden crust that you typically get when you cook meat or fish this way. It's like when one person types in, everyone's like, yes, that is the answer. Okay, so con carne, you got 2. Lemon, you got 2. Welcome in, Trueness. And well done. I think that's a little misleading of a question, though. Because grill could do the same thing, steampunk, hey? Not as evenly, though, I think. I think grill gives more of a char than a caramelized golden crust. So that's why I wouldn't choose that. Sammy is just chilling on the couch right now. Okay, next one. How can you fix an over-sweetened dish? Add vinegar, add water and flour, or add salt and lemon juice. How can you fix an over-sweetened dish? Optrix is like second guessing himself. Okay, ready, guys? It is salt and lemon. So anytime you add acid and salt, that is going to contrast with anything sweet. The vinegar, yes, but I don't think it has as pure of a flavor as the lemon juice does. It's a little bit lighter, any citrus juice. And then obviously salt always contrasts sweet. So you guys are right. Lemon's just crushing this with 3. Steampunk and then Birdie. Good job. So Steampunk, you have 2 now. You feel like the salt can bring out the sweetness more, which is why you have to add it with an acid though. So just vinegar is not enough. You need that little bit of both. Okay, so next one. To poach something means you're cooking it on low heat. You're cooking it by simmering it in liquid. Or you're cooking something halfway. How do you poach something? Aronia, it's okay. Don't worry, Aronia. This isn't going to be the only time we do trivia and give away bones. There's still 4 weeks left to get your tickets bought for the giveaway. And this way we can all learn stuff together. Okay, good job, guys. Good job, Optrix. That's 1 for you. And then Steampunk and Shrewdness. Good job. You guys are just raking in the bones. So kudos to actually showing up to stream today. I didn't think I would announce this. I thought I would see who actually decided to show up and reward those that did. You can give yours to Aronia. Okay, sounds good. Crossing your name out then. There you go, Aronia. Some generosity today in stream. That is much appreciated, Optrix. Poaching, whenever you poach, I don't think that you would cook it halfway. I think you completely cook whatever you're poaching. Okay, this is a true or false. Plastic cutting boards are more sanitary than wooden cutting boards. Which one's more sanitary, plastic or wood? I will wait a couple more seconds. It is, yeah, true or false still. Plastic cutting boards are more sanitary than wooden ones. Is that true or false? Really? You guys are saying false? I would say it's true. Because the wood is permeable. So every time you cut something on there, the wood is going to start to soak up any additional moisture, whether it's vegetables or meat. And to have to clean it, you actually have to clean it kind of 3 different times. So you do your initial rinse, then you do your soap. You have to scrape it all off because you're building up layers of residue on your wood. And then you have to rinse it with a sanitizing solution. Whereas plastic cutting boards are not permeable, so they're not going to soak in any flavorings or even any debris or residue. So that is actually surprising, guys. Wood is a natural antibacterial. Okay, maybe that question's too hard then. Maybe there's too many opinions.
Depending on, I guess.
Steampunk, you're trying to cook and answer these. Okay, I might just skip that one. Yeah, let's go to the science. Do we just have to Google? Yeah, knife cuts in the wood. Perfect place for nasty things. That's what I would think.
And likewise with plastic knife cuts in it.
That's true. So at work, like we have one separate cutting board set aside that we use to cut our bread with the serrated knife. Because that serrated knife, every time you slice on the board with it, that is making little grooves in the board. So if we were to use that board afterwards to, let's say, cut any meat on it, any bacteria that is on the meat is going to get into those little grooves. So we keep one board separately for the bread that we kind of just tear up. And that way it doesn't get contaminated with anything else ever. All right, Lemon, sounds good. Just so you know, you have 3,000 bones on the way. Feel free to use them however you want, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Yeah, I am the god. It's true. I am the one to make that call. But hey, Sammy says, shut the oven off. So the cornbread had 20 seconds left on it anyways. Let's just take out the cornbread first before we carry on with this controversial question. The only reason restaurants use plastic is it's cheap and harder to take care of? Or is it easier to take care of? Okay, maybe there's no right answer. Trick question. Let's check on our cornbread though. We will just insert the thermometer probe into it. If it comes out clean, we can let it rest. If there is a little bit of batter still raw on the probe, then we'll just put it back in the oven for 5-minute intervals, I think. Farshad, yeah, these eyebrows are natural. I don't think I need to know what they say about girls like that, because I don't really give a shit. So there's that. Okay, we're going in. It's a little bit raw underneath, so I'm gonna do 5 more minutes, and I'm gonna do that uncovered. Because as you can see, there's not a ton of browning or coloring on top here, but it is really nice and fluffy. What's on the top? So we didn't really put anything special on the top. All we did was mix in the cheese and the jalapenos. And obviously some of them stayed on top. So that is why that's like it. You want to eat it. Yeah, there's nothing really whitish. I guess I should just go closer. That's a little off topic, Farshad. Just a little bit. And obviously my chat doesn't care about that, so we're gonna carry on. There we go. Yeah, wrong stream. Okay, back to trivia. So obviously that question's a little controversial. I don't feel comfortable saying either one, just because I think everyone's opinion can be right in some form or another. And I don't feel comfortable just being like, let's Google the answer and see what's right. Because even then, there's going to be some disagreement, so let's not even get into that. Where are the mods? Good question. Well, Sammy's sitting on the couch, but that's fine. This is his day off, and I think he deserves to take it. Rook said he was going to be back in half an hour, and I don't know where anyone else is. So we are on our own, and that is okay. We are okay. Does it look like that person saying that affected me? No. Okay, next question. Yeah, Death sleeping. See, it's okay, guys. It's not like we have a ton of trolls just coming in here. I'm totally comfortable dealing with it on my own. Death, you can keep napping if you want. Okay, what does it mean to deglaze a pan? First, I'm going to set our timer, though, for our cornbread. So, does it mean you add hot water before the pan has a chance to cool down, so cleaning it will be easier? Do you scrape the brown bits from the pan while it's still hot and then wash it right after? Or do you loosen the brown bits from a pan by adding a liquid and then heating it up and stirring and scraping the bottom of the pan? Which one of those is it? Yeah, crazy people, exactly. Anybody else? I'll wait a couple more seconds if you want to get your answer in. Oh, and you know what, guys? Let's put our beans in too. Actually, we'll just do that once the cornbread's out. You didn't hear the question. Okay, that's fair enough. Oh, that's true. Low and slow. Let's do it. Really, really low heat though. I'm sure it's still hot to the touch, which it is. Okay, guys. Lots of you got this right. Con carne, that's another one for you. Same with you, Optrix. Yes, it is number 3. So deglaze. You're loosening those brown bits from the bottom of the pan by adding any type of liquid, whether it is wine, beer, water, stock, milk, really anything. And then you heat it while you stir it and you scrape all of those brown bits off because that's where all of your flavoring is. Okay, and then you as well, Aronia. So you got 2 now. Good job. Oh, thanks, Monica. Hope you have a wonderful night. And I know that you'll see the Instagram post of how everything turned out. Thanks for being here, though. We miss ya. That's for sure. Okay, next question. Your sauce is too watery. How can you fix it? Do you add flour or cornstarch? Crank up the heat and let it boil? Or the last answer, you can't. Time to start over. This one's difficult. Number 2, if you're Italian. I will keep waiting if anyone else has the answer. And don't you be Googling it. No cheaters. This is supposed to be a learning thing together. Okay, guys, good job. Lots of you got it right. Steampunk, I totally understand that, where you're coming from. But you should actually never try and boil a sauce down. Because when you boil stuff, you're actually losing stuff as you boil it. Whereas simmering, you have it nice, low, and slow, and it's just going to reduce completely with all of those flavorings. It's okay, Sam. You'll get the next one. I'm not going to re-ask because we already got our top 3 answers. So yeah, flour or cornstarch is the best. If you're going to do flour, you need to create a roux, which is equal parts by weight flour and fat, usually with butter. Keep in mind though, if you're adding a roux to try and thicken a sauce, usually takes a good 20 minutes to half an hour to cook out that starchy flavor. Whereas cornstarch, all you have to do is whisk it with a little bit of cold water until it's smooth. And that, once you bring it up to a simmer again, that's cooked out. And then, like I said, bringing it up to a boil, not the greatest thing. Simmering is the best way to do that. Okay, that's it for our cornbread. You know what? Maybe not. I'm just gonna leave it in there. This feels a little bit soft inside still. It'll just kind of finish steaming. Okay. So trueness, birdie, and con carne. Well done. Con carne in the lead. 4,000 boners. Boners. 4,000. Yeah, so much cheese in there. Finally fast enough to get another point. Okay, next one. This is a good one. What does mincing mean? Do you cut it into small pieces? Are you cutting it into thin strips? Or are you mashing it into a paste? What does it mean to mince something? Welcome back, Rook. That's a lot of boners. Yeah, 4,000. You get all of them. You make a sick black roux for your gumbo. Nice. Yeah, get all of that flavor. I will wait. Don't stress out too much about the questions, guys. It's supposed to be fun and informative. You've easily had double that amount in your life. 8,000 boners. You're the best, Aronia. Thank you for that. You know what, guys? None of you are right on this one. So mincing means mashing it into a paste, which is why I always use the garlic press. Because you want it to be pasty so that you can spread out whatever you're mincing throughout the surface area. Same thing goes with, let's say, ginger. If it says mince, you really want to break it down. Cutting it into small pieces. Thank you, trueness. There's our crazy timer that randomly set on our scale. Trueness. So pieces 1/4 inch. That is not mincing. That is a small dice. You guys got learned. I love it. Finally. A question that I could stump you on. Okay, last question, guys. This one is really good too. If you guys have watched quite a few of my streams, you should be able to answer this. Mincing is cutting fine. See, I would say cutting into small pieces, if you wanted to be very correct, would be called brunoise, which is one of the smallest cuts, and it's a 1/8 of an inch. So the other day when I cut up the shallot really small, that was brunoise. I don't mince words. Love it. Okay, so to cook briefly in boiling water, to seal in the flavor and the color, usually used for vegetables or fruit, which in turn can prepare them for freezing and also ease the removal of the skin. What is this method called? So to cook briefly in boiling water, sealing in flavor and color. Is it blanching, boiling, or browning? Rook, you can answer again, since you didn't wait. Slim Charles, those electric smokers. What happened? How come you couldn't figure it out? Good job, guys. Blanching is the right one. I'm so impressed with you. So first 3. Good job, Cookie. You made it in there. on the last question with 1. And then Optrix, do you still want yours? You're up to 2 now. And then Con Carne, you got 5. 5,000 bones. And that's a good thing to point out as well, is blanching and then shocking it. So you quickly cook it in boiling water, like almost all the way. I would say about 85%. And then you put it into ice water to immediately stop it from cooking. And that also helps to keep things really nice and orange for carrots, nice and green for anything like asparagus or broccoli. And it's just a hillbilly, you eyeball. You're not an idiot, grow up. Okay, good job, guys. So, Con Carne, you got 5,000 bones today. Good job with the trivia. Lemon and Steampunk, you guys got 3,000. Trueness, Birdie, Optrix, and Aronia, 2,000 bones coming your way after the stream. And Cookie, 1,000 for you. Good job, guys. So, I thought that would be a fun little exercise to get some extra tickets for the giveaway. And thanks for the participation. Hopefully we learned some stuff together. Has anyone else entered the giveaway yet today? No, so we still have 5 entrants. But don't worry, if you haven't entered yet, you have until the 31st at 5 p.m. We will be streaming that day. So you can keep all of your bones until then. The participation award, yeah, high five. This is the first trivia I've ever done, and it's definitely not going to be the last. There's the cornbread. Sammy says, what's up? Oh yeah, it's good now. Carryover cooking is important. It's true. Sometimes you want it. Sometimes you do not. There we go. No. Yeah, that's good. That's good lighting, Sammy. Good job. Okay, so I will be giving those points after the stream. Thanks for everything, guys, but I'm going to go grab the slaw. Sammy's going to take the brisket out, slice it up, and we're going to do a little plate up. Yeah, Sammy now proceeds to eat all of the cornbread because we're taking forever. I don't know if we're going to eat upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, we're bringing everything up. So I won't keep streaming afterwards. I'm going to take some time with the fam.
Yeah, I made this for your uncle, so yeah.
Pardon?
Kinda made this for your uncle, so yeah.
Yeah.
Upstairs. You got more classes?
The Mayman. Guys, that's my aunt. Everyone welcome in my aunt. She's definitely French. We are eating in the next 10 minutes, I would say. I think they're having a good time. They're having a fun little tour. Yeah, bonjour. Sammy's just gonna set up the table over here. Show you guys. And I'll just take a quick photo of the spread before we dish up. I think that will be great. Here he comes. The slaw. And then we just need to slice up the brisket. Just coming over here right now.
I'm doing a slice on the brisket.
Okay, he's only doing 1 slice or 2. Maybe
A
1 from
slice
each side.
on the brisket. And then we upstairs. What kind of mess?
Oh God, it's like unwrapping a baby. Yeah, money shot coming in. Oh baby. That crust, though. What you need me? You want me to just hold the tray? I'll bring it over. Don't touch it. It's hot. Is your eye okay?
Okay.
Can you hold it? Flop the meat. Holy. Yeah, you got out of the shower right on time. Look at that. It's jiggling.
Oh. Oh.
How does it smell?
Delicious. Wow.
Who
look
let
at
the
color.
dogs out? Yeah.
Oh.
So that's from the smoke.
Oh mon Dieu, ça a l'air bon.
This is probably 16 pounds now. No, 13? 13 pounds, not even. 12 pounds, Sammy says. We started at 16 though, after it was trimmed up.
Wow.
Yum. Actually,
Wow. Our nostrils are like, oh.
so this
The finger looking good.
is the piece from the fatty side of the brisket. It always has a nice piece of fat going right through the middle. And then you have a pretty good fat cap on top too that kind of caramelizes.
Look at the jiggle.
And then the other side of the brisket is more lean. Yeah, nailed it. Yum.
It's jiggling.
I'm gonna take a photo of the spread over here. That's a barbecue feast, guys. Simple and delicious. Yeah, honestly, we tried to like smoke it a lot at the beginning and there's still no smoke ring. Don't know if the wood makes a difference in that. What do you think, Ruth?
Oh my goodness.
Trying to achieve that for this time.
Sam.
Yeah. They just don't use the water, right? Where is it?
Close your eyes and smell.
Oh, right.
He's like, I have smelled this.
Yeah.
Multiple
Put
times.
sulfur to have the smell into the.
Smell good.
You would have to make a Reuben, yeah. Ah. Okay, I'm just gonna go over, make up a little plate, and then we'll do our tasty taste. Like that.
I can smell this.
Let's just go over here. Sammy's cutting the cornbread, guys. Soak the wood. We soaked it for what? 12 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's soaked for 12 hours. That's why we're not really understanding why we can't get a really nice red ring. Holy. Put in.
Is that a nice one?
Yeah, get in there.
Mmm.
I think that's a good mix of everything, hey? Make sure you eat your veggies with this stuff. It just helps with digestion, mainly. And you know what? Barbecue food, not supposed to be fancy. Yay, that's amazing, Aronia. Yeah, I take pride in my slaws, for sure. So there we go. There ain't no fancy plating here. You get your meat, your starch, and your veg. Let's get into it. Usually separate the two parts of the brisket and cook them separately. Interesting. I mean, it's important to also know how to cook it and cut it afterwards too. The different pieces of brisket get cut differently. Yeah, it still looks good. Okay, most important part. Let's have a piece of meat. Look at just falling apart on me. Yum. She be tender for sure. You've never seen brisket served like prime rib, really? How do you guys usually do it then? Cheers, guys. You need au jus? We've never done a sauce with ours.
Au jus.
Mmm.
That's all I'm using.
Mm-hmm. Definitely cooked perfect. It's not as smoky as we've had before. I will say that, guys, which is very surprising. Because this time when we cooked it, we put more wood in than we ever have. And we soaked it for longer. So I don't know why it did that. Maybe the weather or something. Really don't know how to explain that one, but it still tastes really damn good. Okay, going in with our beaners. Mm-hmm. So there's still a little bit of bite to the bean. You get our little pieces of pork in there that are all crisped up. And we got that sweet and salty contrast. So I use maple syrup. You guys can use brown sugar, molasses, something sweet though. I find that's the best way to cook beans because they kind of caramelize as they cook in the oven. Humidity, or maybe the wood burned too cleanly. Interesting. You normally use the wood chips. I feel like the wood chips burn up too fast though. All of these are good suggestions though. Okay, into the cornbread. So this cornbread is really, really moist. It's almost more of like a pudding inside. So it's not dry at all. So it's definitely not dry when you eat it. Usually when you have cornbread, it just kind of like sucks all the saliva from your mouth, right? Yeah, we never like smoke anything when the smoke is dark like that. We always make sure that we burn it off first and then you put the meat on. Just to be aware. Okay, lastly, the slaw. This is kind of like our palate cleanser, right? Everything else is pretty heavy on the plate. So that's why I didn't want a slaw that was doused in heavy mayo. Perhaps the temp combined with weather. I mean, we kept it steady at like around 275. Love the tang in it. Perfectly balanced. It's not just like in your face. The cabbage still has crunch. Did we only do one round of oak with the initial coals? So Sammy likes to make layers in the egg as he builds the fire with the coals. I think he did 3 separate layers of wood in there. So this is kind of funny that that happened. Hey, honestly guys, before we finish up, I need to go take my last bathroom break. That's why I'm like dancing around over here. And then if you guys want to go find someone to raid, that would be awesome. Or if not, I will find someone for us. So hold tight. I will send you guys off. And that is it. Alright, guys. We are here. Go pee. I will grab a cold one. Perfect. That's true. Yeah, you can't give any more tips. So I feel like the egg is a little bit more uncontrolled than the electric ones. They're pretty expensive. I think they're a couple grand at least. Okay, I'm checking out Belly. Rook, is your guitar playing friend on at all? And if not, let's go chill with Mike's Eye, I think. Or are you guys feeling Robin? Robin's doing up some beef stroganoff. What do we feel like? Or should we go in with Chris Blackwood? We've never gone in there yet. We got some time. We'll be okay, guys. We definitely have some options, too. And just so you guys know, I am not afraid to go raid people that have a small amount of viewers. I think we should spread the love around. Let's do Robin or another stream. Okay, let's do Robin. I always love to support my Canadians. Okay, guys, thank you so much for everything this week. You guys crushed my bit goal by like 200%, so thank you for all of that. Thank you, Optrix and Death, for all of the gifted subs to my channel. That is so much appreciated. Optrix as well with the donation. Same with Matt. So you guys are tied at 20 bucks as we end this week off. So both of you I will contact to get a request from you. And Rook, are you the top cheer of the week right now? Is that what we're looking at? Are you the top of the leaderboard? You are. So if you want, feel free to request something. And if not, let me know. Give it to Matt. You've already suggested dinner. Okay, sounds good, dude. That's all you gotta say. Fair enough. Okay, guys, we're going in to see Robin. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I'm gonna be working for most of it. And we may or may not stream Monday. It's a holiday here. I haven't decided if I want to stream. If we do, though, probably do it a little bit later, around maybe 3:30 p.m. So I'll let you know. Have a good one.